Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for coming to the show. I'm gonna look at stuff on the internet. Let's look it up. Let's go. Hey everyone, Tim here, and I'm gonna look up news and see what's going on in the world. I've been kind of just chilling, hanging back, and letting everything kind of fizzle, and I've realized that now's not the time to sit back and let everything fizzle. This is when everything is just heating up. And so in latest news from CNN, reporting, Trump says he knew COVID-19 was deadly even though he downplayed it. Okay, that sounds bad. Am I gonna get an article on it, or are you just gonna say that? Reporting! I'm at a loss because there's so much crap going on in the world that it's like, man, I don't even know what to do anymore. Reporting! President Trump admitted that he knew weeks before the first confirmed U.S. coronavirus death that the virus was dangerous, airborne, highly contagious, more deadly than your strenuous flu, and that he repeatedly downplayed it publicly. This is deadly stuff, he said, in February 7th. Okay. To me, that sounds like something that could be taken in a bad way, or it could be taken in a good way. Because, if he said or knew that it was bad, but then there's always something, I don't know, guys. I've been really trying to find, what I want to do, what I want to, talk about in the world. And I think that where we are as a current society is just about right. And it's just about, I guess, now I can come to expect things like this to happen in life. And there's a certain way that everyone deals with, politics or with this life in general, and it gets to a point where, politics is life, and it does, matter, because people are always going to try to say, well, it doesn't matter, my vote doesn't matter, I try to stay out of it. But really, man, when you think about it, yeah, your vote does matter, because, who knows? You could be that one vote that determines, or you could be part of the cluster of 100 that determines, someone who wins or not. And it's just good to take a stand for something you believe in, So coming up to this election, I want to just encourage people to really try to take in both sides of the story and understand, what's going on. And the best example that I can think of whenever I'm talking about situations like this is Kyle Rittenhouse. And I'm thinking that his defense will hold up. This is what I'm seeing right here on the computer. I think that the self-defense will hold up merely just because of the violence that was that had been recorded on the videotape, that we saw. It's a very complicated issue because, first of all, Kyle is not from the area in which that he committed, the shooting. And so that's, problematic for people. And so it goes to, does this kid have to pay for what happened, because he, because he actually did shoot somebody. And really it's complicated because you could say, yeah, of course, he killed someone and seriously injured. I think he killed many people, but, there was also a component of self-defense because, if you could place yourself into his situation, you could easily say, well, I just wouldn't have gone anyway, but, not everyone thinks that way. So if you really put yourself into his shoes and think, at the end of the day, the goal for this person was to defend, you know, what he saw as valuable property. As soon as, you know, that started being opposed by, you know, people, it was up to him to either, you know, fight or flight. And I think there was a mixture of both in there. I think that him being 17 is a big factor because of his, I mean, your brain isn't developed right there. You're 17. That's probably part of the reason why he decided to even go out there in the first place, you know. Yeah, he was cleaning graffiti that morning and stuff. And I don't know. To me, if I'm a judge and I'm thinking, what do I do with this kid? It's like, let's persecute him, but let's also keep the sentence at a degree of leniency, because there's many factors that go into it being reasonable to not give him life in prison. Because he's young, and when you look at that tape, you know, you have to say that looks like self-defense. And I've also seen the photo of that guy's arm that got shot. His arm pretty much like from here to here was blown open, and it was, you know, exposed. And that is something that I'm not okay with, you know. But I will just go on it and say that there's no good way to solve this, you know, other than, you know, letting the professionals handle it. But as a person who likes to make YouTube videos, it's always something that, you know, is content, you know, for me to make. And if people like to hear, you know, my opinions on stuff and what I think, then, you know, that's valuable to them. It's valuable to me. So let's go on and read this. This is from the Journal Times. One of the attorneys supporting Rittenhouse, L. Lynn Wood of Atlanta, said in a tweet last month that the weapon the teenager was carrying that night was not brought across state lines, but rather was provided by a friend of Rittenhouse's who is a Wisconsin resident. And Lynn Wood at L. Lynn Wood on Twitter said, when you start manufacturing facts to support false accusations, you get into trouble under the law of defamation. Kyle did not carry a gun across state lines. The gun belonged to his friend, a Wisconsin resident. The gun never left the state of Wisconsin. He said the truth always prevails. That was in response to Zigtastic, who said the first guy who was shot in the face was actually a result of Kyle shooting into the crowd. Afterwards, he was still carrying an illegal gun in a different state. Oh, okay, I see why he said that. Look, this isn't the most important part of the story, in my opinion. The most important part of the story is the fact that he is brandishing a weapon, you know, at such a young age, and whenever really he could have just as easily chosen to not do that. It's unclear what led up to the first killing of Rosenbaum, a 36-year-old from Kenosha. Although video shows Rittenhouse running away from Rosenbaum in a parking lot, Rosenbaum throws something at Rittenhouse. A criminal complaint from the Kenosha County District Attorney's Office states that the item was a plastic bag. Those defending Rittenhouse say that Rosenbaum then started trying to take Rittenhouse's gun when Rosenbaum was shot in the head. Moments later, video shows Rittenhouse calls someone on the phone saying, "I just killed someone," as he starts running away. At this point, some of the demonstrators start chasing Rittenhouse, calling, "He just shot somebody." As Rittenhouse is pursued northbound on Sheridan Road toward law enforcement, he falls to the ground. The other two people who Rittenhouse shot, Huber, the 26-year-old from Silver Lake who died after being shot in the chest, Gage Grosskreutz, who was severely wounded with a shot to the arm but survived, were recorded running after Rittenhouse, with Huber seen trying to hit Rittenhouse with a skateboard when they were shot. Didn't that other guy have a gun? Rittenhouse then runs toward police videos with his arms raised as onlookers yell, "He just shot somebody!" But the teenager was not apprehended at that time. The next day, he was taken into custody in Illinois. The case for self-defense. In the common law, deadly force is justified if they feel they are at risk of death or serious bodily injury. Notice me, senpai. So, guys, man, I'm going to say this in my closing thoughts and arguments. Thank you so much for watching, by the way. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe and all that good bull crap. But, man, if you're a 17-year-old out there watching this, here's my suggestion for you. Don't bring a gun and shoot people anywhere. Don't set buildings on fire. Stay in school. Put your mind to a dream that you have and stick to it. Because you never know what kind of opportunities you could have and you could open up for yourself by being consistent with your goals in life. And so, with that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again. Peace.